Lesson 64 in the Jazz Violin series. Now, in the last video, I mentioned how far you could kind of contort the chord sequences to be outside the key, but still have the same function. We're getting to some fairly advanced stuff. Let's talk about what to do about that as a soloist. So playing outside versus inside. What that lingo means, jazz players will kind of compliment each other. Dude, that was outside, you know. What's that mean? It means that we're going weird outside the key is what it means, all right? So you know the lingo. And it's not, in my opinion, cool to just play outside the whole time, like the band's in C and you're in D flat or something, just going crazy. It won't sound good, but it will create tension. Mosquito in here. It'll create tension, and you can release it by getting back to C. So that could be cool. I heard the great keyboard player Chick Corea, who I've met a few times. One of my old students is his road manager, and I've gotten to be backstage and talk to Chick a couple times, as well as my idol John Luke Ponte, who was on the gig with them, and Stanley Clark, cool guys to hang with. Anyways, Chick one time, he said, it's like, how far can you stretch the chord? It's like if he's outlining the chord, how weird can you go to outside of the key and come back to it? Tension and release. So this is something even the greats use all the time. So if in that regards, don't sweat it if you play a so-called bad note or green note. Play it again. Do it on purpose and contort it around, twist around it a little bit, and eventually come back to the right note. It will create tension and release it. So the kind of common running, a little bit of joke, if you make a mistake, repeat it, and then it becomes a motif. Motif is a repeated idea, right? So do it as a motif and come back and undo it in later. Just do it with purpose and confidence, and you'll be fine. So that's a pretty short lesson. Go outside as much as you want. Now, if I was going to add more to it, you can try some tricks. I don't like to think too hard. I know players that do. It's like if the band's in C, they'll play over A flat for a little bit or something and come back to C. They'll do these tricks. They'll do different modes or something to make themselves think different. I say just play and don't think too much about it. But if you want to do some tricks, if you're so inspired to go outside and bring it back, like if the band's really kicking it behind you, it might be the spot to get a little weirder because they're getting a little weirder because you all want to play together and present a unified front in your attitudes and performance and dynamics and approaches. And that's when the real magic happens, when the whole band is thinking together. So if they're kicking you in the butt and doing some crazier stuff, you can do some crazier stuff then too. And bring it around back when it's time. And solo on just one note for the rest of the chorus, is like I've mentioned before. So there's some ideas. Take it outside, dude.